Hi, it's Malcolm. This is going to be a quick video on how to install the remote switch for your Kranzle standard machine. Comes in a box like this. It should have instructions that are fairly simple to follow, but sometimes it's better to see it visually. So I'm going to show you how to fix it onto a newer machine and the older style machine. They're pretty much the same thing, but there are some differences that you need to be aware of. So let's get to it. So a couple of things to remember. This is not a thing that Kranzle make. This is not supposed to be in a Kranzle. Therefore, once you take this electric box lid off, unless you've bought the machine from me and you've fitted it with my supervision or this video, then chances are your warranty's gone. If you were to take it somewhere and they open the box and find that, they're just going to say the warranty's gone. It's also you don't want to be just leaving this machine on, because the machine's so quiet and that you've only got the remote to indicate that it's on or off. You still need to be able to turn that switch off completely so that everything's dead, everything's isolated. You unplug it at the end of the day. When you start the day, you plug it in, you're going to have nothing. You're going to think, oh, what's happening? But you just switch it on at the beginning of the day and then use the remote to turn it on and off. If the remote doesn't work, then chances are it's either the batteries, or if there's a malfunction, go to the troubleshooting page. So this is how it comes boxed up. No doubt you've already seen it, but this is what you should get inside. You should get the actual module itself, all wired up ready, and you'll get either one or two remotes, depending on which one you ordered. If it's just a single remote, you'll just get a single remote. Everything is wired ready just to straightforwardly put in. So you don't need the remotes for a minute. Put that to one side. So this is how to fit it into a new style electric box. If you've got the old style machine, then skip to probably, I'll put a number up here and skip to that many minutes and you'll see where that is. So first things first, unplug it, make sure that it's dead, there's no voltage to it, because if you put your hands in there and it's plugged in, you're going to have a really bad day. So take the 4 screws off the electric box. I'm not going to show you how to take the screws out, because if you can't do that, then you shouldn't really be in this electric box anyway. So just move the capacitor out of the way. That's just on a wire. And what you're looking for is the mains cable that's coming in. You've got the brown wire and the blue wire. The brown wire goes to the switch, and then opposite the brown wire, which is this one, is your live. So where you have the module itself, you'll have the brown wire, because that's the one that we're taking it off from here, that just connects to that. And it's just a push on spade terminal, nothing special. And then because that came from the brown wire, you just connect that to the brown wire. So self-explanatory. The blue wire, which is the bottom one, which is this black one here, will connect to the blue wire because it was from the blue one, and the blue wire from the other side with the other spade terminal, the different terminals. That's it. Now obviously we'll be neatening these wires up a little bit, so you're going to have to take your time a little bit and make sure that all the wires are routed properly, so you don't have any stretch in there or nothing can touch each other. Just make it all nice and neat. If you feel a little bit anxious with this, you can put a little bit of insulation tape around these bits, but you shouldn't really need to. Once it's installed, it's not going to move. Once the capacitor's in its place, there's no terminals to touch each other, and it'll just stay there pretty much solid, unless you drop it like DPD did. Anyway, so what you may need to get to is this button. So there's a little LED for setting up the remotes if you have a spare remote, but this button is quite important, so sometimes it might be better to install it that way So make sure your wires are all neat. You want to be stretching this antenna a little bit longer than it is, because it'll be nicely coiled up when you get it. And you want to make sure that none of these wires can touch anything inside the electric box, that the antenna is not going to get broken by twisting and pulling it, and make all the wiring as neat as you can and as solid as you can before you put the electric box back on. So for the interest of not doing a 1,000-hour video on just how to wire it up, that is literally it. Just put the color code wires, spade terminals, put it in the electric box, put the top on, and then we'll go to what the test is going to be. So in the interest of showing you what is going to happen, I have plugged this machine in. So the last thing I want to do is put my fingers anywhere around here, because it's got live now. You should really be just closing it up. But if you have any problems, you're going to call me and I will talk you through anything. But this is what's happening. So the machine is plugged in and it's powered on. You're going to be switching the machine on. Now you'll notice nothing happens. You have to have this remote to turn it on and off. So you have to test it as far as everything's plugged in, press it on, press it off, and if everything's working, you don't have to do anything else. If you've got another remote, just try both of the remotes. Try both of the remotes. Once you're happy with that, make sure all the electric box is screwed on and tight. So if you've got the older style machine like this, you need to take the 4 screws out, which again, I'm not going to show you how to do it because they're just 4 screws. You want to just remove that capacitor out the way. The best place that I've found to put it is just directly in there. It just sort of fits right neat, and you can get to this button as well. So you need to wire it to the switch now. So what you need to do is take this switch out, and this is clipped in, so you need to just get a flat screwdriver. Sometimes it's a bit of a pain on both sides, just to ease it out, like so. I'll just pull it out. It'll only go that far because that's the amount of cables that you can get on there. This is your mains cable coming in, your brown and your blue. So your brown's connected to the black one and the blue's connected to the red one on here. So these will only fit one way. So you've got the spade terminals, which is going to be the black and red wires connected to here. And then these are going to connect to your switch. So you're going to need to route the wires a little bit. So if you can imagine the blue wire, we'll do the the brown wire first. So the live, which is that black one. So take it out and pass it through underneath this little sort of bridge where the switch fits. It's easy if you've got smaller hands, but hey ho. So this is connected to the brown wire on this switch. So this is connected to the brown wire on the output. Connected. The next one is the blue wire, which is connected to this red wire. And again, pass it under through. And out. He says it was easier in rehearsal. And connect it to the brown wire. Oh God, that is a blue wire. A blue wire. So blue wire was there. It's connected. And then what you want to be doing is connecting these up to the same colour as on this side. So you need to pass it through the bridge and up through that bridge and up, and all you're doing is brown to brown and blue to blue. Once you've done that, we can just make sure you don't trap any wires on the way back in. We switch. The on button is this side and the little O is on that side. So now it's off, O for off and 1. And then all we need to do really is to route these wires so that they don't touch anything. You've got to make sure, you see this, where this the screw fits through from the electric box. So this screw hole here fits into that screw there. So if you trap that wire, that's not going to be good. So you need to push them out of the way and down and out so that they're not touching anything. Up against that housing. This is your antenna wire at the back here, and you want to unfold it all and get it as sort of long as you can, but without getting it anywhere where it can touch a wire. And then all you need to do is put the capacitor back in, which on this electric box is a little bit of a squeeze, but it will just fit in and hold everything really, really nice. So then when your electric box is on and you screw this down, it should work. So as far as making sure, again, once you plug this in, you don't want to be touching any wires. So if I plug it in now and turn it on, nothing happens, the same as the other one. And literally you just press on and off. And what you just want to make sure that both of the remotes work. If they don't work, then go back to the troubleshooting video and that'll help you to realign everything. You can always get to the button if you ever need to without having to take it out if you mount it this way. So the next thing is just to put this back on, because now we know it works. Quick test again. Put the screws in and you're complete. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy using this product. I hope it was easy to fit and simple to follow instructions. If you ever have to take it out, you just reverse it and put the wires exactly where they were before you fitted it, and the machine will be working exactly the same as how it was. I would advise, if you've only got one remote, is to carry a spare set of batteries so that, and a screwdriver to open that case as well. Because otherwise, if the remote doesn't work, you're not going to get that pressure washer working whatsoever unless you take the module out. So carry a spare set of batteries per remote, or if you've got two remotes, it won't matter too much, just keep them together. Use one. If the battery goes, start using this and replace the batteries and keep that one as a spare. It's probably a good idea. Worst case scenario, you just take it out. It's a 5-10 minute job and you're back to working as it was. Then you can get your batteries in your own time. So I hope you enjoyed the product. I hope you enjoyed the video. Any questions, any problems whatsoever, give me a message.
See you in another video. Bye.
See you in another video. See you later.